श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् ॐ मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्त कौमुदीयं विरच्यते अ इ उन् ऋल् ऋक् ए ओङ् ऐ औच् हयवरट् ळण् ञमङणनं झभै घढढश् जबगडदश् खफ छठथ चटतौ कपै श सर् हल् इति माहेश्वराणि सूत्राणि. Okay, so we are seeing the Maheshvara Sutras. There he asked a question. Nanu imani sutrani munitraya bahirbhutatvat apramanam ityataha. That is the question. See, these sutras are not based on the sayings of the three saints, the trinities. Who are the trinity? Panini, Vararuchi and Patanjali. Okay, Panini, Vararuchi, Patanjali. What were their text? Sutra, Vartika, Bhashya. Okay, so these sutras, these 14 sutras, neither are from the Panini Sutra, nor are they quoted by Vartikakara, Vararuchi Katyayana, nor is it in the Bhashya. And the pratigna is the pratigna. Pratigna means this is what he declared. This is what I am going to establish. What you are going to establish here in this text. Munitrayam namaskritya tadukti paribhavya cha tadukti taduktayah. Their sayings after paribhavya, after deeply investigating, inquiring into it, I am going to write this text. I am writing this text. I wrote this text. That is how he said. Now, this sutra, these 14 sutras are not sayings of these munis. So you have lost the declaration. That is a dosha. Actually, it's a defect. I was talking about one Kashikananda here in the previous class that there is a commentary called Kashika on the Bhashya. Okay, so that commentary and there is another Kashika which we are going to see here today is they are two different. They are not the same person. So, and there was this Kashikananda who was a recent past, a great Vidwan. Okay, so he had a debate with the dualist, the people who follow the duality philosophy, the Madhva groups. Okay, Madhvacharya, not Madhvacharya, Madhvacharya, Udupi, their tradition. So we have something called, before starting a debate, we have something called Samaya Bandha. I have to declare what I will follow and you have to declare what you will follow. So I declare I am going to speak based on Advaita and I am going to condemn you based on Advaita. And the other fellow also says the same thing. He need not say that. He can say, I will condemn you based on the any philosophy. That can also be a rule. It's all just a rule which we have to lay down before rules for dialogue. Okay, so beautiful. See, these idiots think they are masters in all these things. We have been doing this from so long. Okay, now after the rules are laid down, they started the dialogue. At one point, the Dvaiti Madhva group, he condemned Advaita Kashikananda such a beautiful way. And Kashikananda was silent. He was silent. Silence for some time is okay. But if it's like you are stunned, you are zapped. Oh, I'm completely condemned. There is no possibility of me establishing Advaita now. That is the kind of state. So the other fellows thought they have gained victory over this Advaita. But Kashikananda coolly said, you have lost. He didn't answer their question, their doubt. He said, you have lost. Why? We lost? You lost, actually. Are you crazy? We have condemned you, you lost. He said, okay. Now quote, text did you, which text did you base on to condemn me with this logic? Because that is not a logic of Dvaitis. It is a logic of Vishishta Dvaitis, Ramanuja Parampara. So, gone. So, therefore, you have to be very careful what you declare. If you declare, you have to follow through. So, here he declared, Munitrayam Namaskritya Taduktif Paribhavyacha. Now, he didn't follow through because he started it with a which is not in any of these three sutras. So for that he says, Iti Muni Maheshwarani Sutranti. Maheshwaran, what is Maheshwara? Maheshwara, what is Maheshwara? Maheshwarat Agatani Maheshwarani. Maheshwarat Agataha. That which came from Maheshwara is a Maheshwara. We saw in Adi Lagu and Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi Tata Agataha. Tataha Panchami Tasya Sashti Tatra Saptami. So Tata Agataha Tasya Bhavaha Tatra Bhavaha, etc. These sutras. I told you, remember one sutra, that is the important thing. Okay. So Tata Agataha, from them it came. From whom it came? From him it came. From there it came. From where? From Maheshwara. Tata Agata iti an. So Maheshwara plus an, then nit, because it is nit, acho nginiti adivruddhi, Maheshwara plus an, Maheshwara, then subutpatti Maheshwaraha, etc. Okay, Maheshwarani, Maheshwarani. So Maheshwarani Sutrani, which are Maheshwaraha, Maheshwarai, Varam, whichever way you want to declare, you can declare Subutpatti. Okay. Now, Tata Agata iti an Maheshwarad Adhigatani iti. What do you mean by it came from Maheshwara? It is understood from Maheshwara. That is the idea. Adhigatani. It is understood. Okay. So, how do you understand in this way? Adhigatani iti yavat. It came from Maheshwara. That is a proper understanding. That is a proper meaning actually. But instead of understanding it in such a way, he says Maheshwarat Adhigatani. Agatani is replaced with Adhigatani. Agatani it came. Adhigatani it is understood. Why? Because he says Taduktam Pani Sikshaya Panini Shishya Pranita Sikshaya. There is a text called Shiksha Grantha. Paniniya Shiksha, that is what the text is. So it is, though it is named as Paniniya Shiksha, it is not written by Panini, it is written by Panini's disciple, where he says the rules for pronouncing these things. So there it is said, Yena Akshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha. This sutra is read there. But we saw this sutra somewhere, right? Where Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi Adi Lagu. Where did we see? In the introduction. In the introduction, we saw these sutras. Ena samamnayam. This is equivalent to Vedas. Does not mean people who are not qualified to chant Vedas. The basic qualification is to have the sacred thread and having me initiated into the sacred thread. That is the basic qualification. People who are not initiated into, women or whoever it is, who are not initiated into, should not read. It's not the rule here, because who is the adhikari here? Vyakarana Siddhanta Jignasuhu adhikari. A person who is eligible is a person who is desirous of knowing the secrets of grammar. Okay, so anyone can chant this. So Yena Akshara Samamnayam, by whom? Yena Tritiyanta, by whom? Akshara Samamnaya, this group of characters, this Vedic equivalent to that which is equivalent to Vedas, that kind of characters. Adhigamya Maheshwara. He is used Adhigamya Maheshwara. Knowing it from Maheshwara, by whom? Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam. Kritsnam, totally, complete. Kritsnam means total, complete. Complete Vyakaranam Proktam. Sanskrit grammar is said. Proktam. Okay? Prakrishtena Uktam Proktam. So it is said. Tasmai Paninaye Namaha. To that Panini, my salutations. So here he has very clearly said Adhigamya Maheshwara. After knowing it from Maheshwara, by whom these Panini Sutras are said. These sutras are said. The grammar sutras are said. To that Panini, my namaskaras. Etad Chaturdasha Sutra Vyakhyayam Nandigeshwara Kratayam Kashikayam api uktam. So, Chaturdasha Sutra Vyakhyayam. In the commentary to the 14 sutras, a commentary written by a person called Nandikeshwara, and the text is called Kashika. This is not the Kashika which I was referring to earlier. Kashika is a commentary on Bhashya, Mahabhashya, yes, true, but that is not this Kashika. This is a different Kashika which is written by a person called Nandikeshwara, which is only on the 14 sutras. And why did Nandikeshwara? Who is this Nandikeshwara? Nandi is the vehicle of Shiva. Shiva said, and who better can understand what Shiva said other than Nandi, his vehicle. So it is Nandi's words. So there, Nandikeshwara says this. Nittavasane Nataraja Rajo Nanadhakkam Nava Panchavaram Uddhartukamas Sanakadisiddhani Etat Vimarshe Siva Sutra Jalam. I explained this earlier also. Now again we will see Nritta Avasane. Avasane, Vavasane at the end. Avasana means end. Full stop. We saw this. So Nritta Avasane. I am repeating these sutras so that we remember these sutras. Okay. Samskara. Nritta Avasane. Nritta means dance. Avasana means at end. At the end of Avasane, at the end. At the end of the dance, who danced? Nataraja Rajaha. Nataraja Rajaha. Okay. It is not just said Nataraja. It is said Nataraja Rajaha. I explained these nuances earlier. Nataraja can be anyone. Nataraja can be your Krishna, Nartana Ganapati, or Nritya Gopal can be Krishna, anyone. But Nataraja Rajaha, Natanam Rajaha Yaha, Tesham Rajaha, Nataraja Rajaha. So, Tesham Rajyaha iti Nataraja Rajaha, if you say, then Madhyamapada Lopa Samasa, you can say Nataraj. Why? Because I asked this question when I was studying the Sanskrit. I had this doubt. What? Nataraj. Nataraja Raja. Why should it be said Nataraja Raja, King of Kings? King of Kings who are the expert dancer. Dancers of dancer of dancer. Something like that. Shehanshah, Emperor of Emperor. Something like that. It is the best dancer of the king among the dancers. Why it should be said actually? Nataraj, because Nataraj, the word itself is synonymous to Shiva. There is a place, I refer to this place also while I asked this question. I remember this very vividly. 25 years, more than that. So Nataraj, there is a junction called Nataraj in Rishikesh. From Rishikesh towards Dehradun, just 3-4 kilometers, there is a hotel, Nataraj Hotel. Okay, so that's a junction, Nataraj. There is a dancing Shiva there. So Nataraj is the name for Shiva. Rudyartha. When you say Nataraj, it means Shiva. Why do you have to say Nataraja Raja? That is a doubt. Then he explained saying all these kind of Sanskrit grammar, even based on Sanskrit Madhyama Pada Lopa Samasa we have. Madhyama Pada Lopa Samasa means the in-between pada, the word in the compound can be dropped to form the word. Nata Rajanam Rajnaha. So Nataraja, drop the Rajana, the in between Raja can be. But Nataraj need not be complicated to say Nataraja in all these places. Like we say Pankaja, Jatamiti Pankaja. What does Pankaja? Panka means marshland. In that Jata, that which is born, is a lotus. Pankaja means lotus. We don't say the frog is Pankaja. Though frog is also born there, fish is Pankaja. Those fish is also born there. No, we don't say that. We equate it with that flower. Similarly, I gave this example in Tamil. Shankaracharya. When I say Shankaracharya, do you know Shankaracharya? Yeah, this one who is in Kanchi or in Shringeri or something like that. No, that's Shankaracharya. No, we are not referring to that. When I say Shankaracharya, it immediately means the Adi Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya Bhagavan. So, we don't add any adjectives. Even without any adjectives, any upadi, we mean, when we say Shankaracharya, we mean that Bhagavan Bhashyakara. Similarly, when I say Nataraja, we mean this Acharya. Still, he says Nataraja Raja. If you are going to bring in anyone as Nataraja, he is better than him. He is the Adi Nata. He is the Adi Nata, the first dancer. Like Adi Yogi, Adi Jnani, etc. Adi Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya also is given the title Adi, the first Shankaracharya, or Adi Guru, Dakshinamurti. Like that, this person is the Adi Nata, the first dancer. So, Nataraja Raja, Nutta Avasani, at the end of dance, what did he do? Nanada Dhakka, Nanada, Nada, to make sound. So, Nanada, he made sound. From the root word Nada, Nanada, he made the sound. Sound of what? Dhakka. Dhakka means it's a small drum, handheld drum, which has a bead tied to a rope. Okay, it's like a box. Okay, you can use this box also. You tie a rope in the middle and a bead to the end, which can touch the center of this sides. So when you play like this, that will be a sound, that will make a sound. That is a dhakka. That is the drum we are talking about, not the drum. Not that drum. Okay. See, if you go to Kashi, what is famous in Kashi? Vishveshwaraya, the second sutra, second shloka, the alternative Mangalacharana where we saw Vishveshwaraya. There is a meaning that Vishveshwaraya is Vishwanatha. I said, no, that need not be in that meaning. It can be understood as his guru, his brother. Because this is not a Guru Namaskaratmaka. This is not a Ishwar Namaskaratmaka. This is Guru Namaskaratmaka. Like that, I explained you. But other than Vishwanatha, what is famous in Kashi? Bida. You know, Pan. Pan is very famous in Kashi. No, leave alone this. There is something else which is famous, which is done especially in Kashi. I have not seen it in any other place. When people go to Shiva temple, they hold their ears like this, and then they play drum, not like that. Like that they play. They'll shake their head and make sound like that. This is Dhakka. Okay, Nana the Dhakka. He played this handheld drum. How many times? Nava Panchavaram. Nava Panchavaram. 9 and 5 times. So stupid arithmetic actually. Mathematics. If you are going to say in units tens, then you say 10 and 4. In olden English, we say 10 and 4. Why 9 and 5? There is no logic actually. 9 and 5. Why not 8 and 6? Why 9 and 5? If you say there is no logic, think again. We are not talking about small, limited knowledge people. We are talking about great minds. 9 and 5 is a very beautiful choice of word. Again, see, 9 and 5 The samasa rule, there is a rule in samasa, compound words, there is a rule. What is that? Alpachtaram. You have to use the less voweled word in the beginning. Na, va, two vowels. Pancha, two vowels. So there is no choice. Whichever is brought in the first place, there is no problem here. Okay. So that rule is not the reason for Nava Pancha. Then what is Nava Pancha? See this beauty. A, I, un, 1. Rel, rik, 2. A, ong, 3. I, ouch, 4. Then the final sutra, hal. Why are you bringing the final sutra? Because that hal is though it's not in the vowels, that hal has no value there because however there is already a ha. Okay, so including the hal, the final sutra, we have these 4 vowel sutras. So 5 vowel sutras and 9 consonant sutras. How beautiful! But wait, 5 vowel sutras and 9 consonant sutras, that is a logical thing. That is how he has presented. Then she should have again said 5 and 9. Pancha Navavaram. Why did he say Nava Panchavaram? There is another reason for this. When there is a war, this is how people used to. Now they don't follow any rules. They just bomb anywhere, everywhere. That's all. But in olden days, there was a rule. They declare we are going to make war with you. So before that, the people who are they are going to fight with, they will make arrangements for safety of people who don't want to fight, who cannot fight, like the old people, pregnant women, children, the cows, etc. They will take care of them first. Take them away to a safe place. Okay. Now, this is actually how Uttarakhand came actually. Uttarakhand is full of forest. So people who escaped the Muslim rulers from Rajasthan entered Uttarakhand, they stayed there. Okay, that's a different story. Anyway, so Nava is we'll come to Nava Panchavaram. So the people who are weaker, they should be sent away from the battlefield. That is the rule. They should be given the first choice. Ladies first, we say. That is not a chauvinistic. In today's world, they will say it's chauvinistic. There's no chauvinism there. That is how it was done in the earlier days. Men used to. It's not chivalry or anything. It is declared that women are weak. Over. There is no question about it. So here in this, that is the same rule which is applied here. The rule is asahayanam agre sanniveshah. Asahayanam agre sanniveshah. Asahaya. Sahaya means help. Asahaya means helpless. Okay. Agre means in the front. Sanniveshah means placing nicely. We have to nicely place the helpless in the beginning. So Nava is a helpless group and Pancha is a useful, helpful group. Meaning they can take care of themselves. That is the idea. So the consonants cannot stay without a vowel. Vowel can individually stay. So that is why we say Haya, Varat, etc. We add a vowel to the consonants. That is the reason. Okay. So first the consonants which are Asaya, Asahaya, helpless, and then we bring in the vowels. Okay, that is why Nava Panchavaram. See the logic. Nava Panchavaram. Uddhartu Kamaha. Why did he make these sounds? Uddhartu Kamaha, to uplift. Uplift whom? Sanaka, the Siddhan, the Sanaka, etc. Siddhas. What are they there? Where were they sitting? In Haridwar, Saptasarovar. And what were they doing? They were meditating on Shiva for knowledge. And this fellow, he eavesdropped and heard this sound. This Panini Maharaj, he heard the sound and he created this sutra. He got the sutra from that sound. See, instead of getting, this is our problem actually. See, what happened to Sanaka, etc.? Shiva wanted to uplift them. He made this sound, and they got uplifted. Fine. And what happened to Panini? Panini didn't get uplifted. Why? Because he didn't want. If you are asked, what do you want? You want realization or you want something else? First, you want order me a tea. Then we'll talk about it. First thing you want is, no, I want realization. No, first order me a tea. I want a tea. Then we'll discuss about this. So we have some petty things. Similarly, this fellow Panini was so drummed by this Sahapati, this co-student Katyayana. So he was bashed and he was manipulated and all that. So he was feeling very bad. So he said, "Let me become a great grammarian first, and then teach him this lesson, and then I will gain realization." This is petty ego, and for that ego he created this beautiful, from that ego he created this beautiful sutras. Okay, so uddhartu kamah sanakadi siddhan etad vimarshe sivatu sutra jalam, Shiva sutra jalam, this web of Shiva sutras, aphorisms of Shiva, is a etad vimarsha. This vimarsha, remember this word, vimarsha is a technical term in Shaiva Siddhanta. In Kashmir Shaiva Siddhanta, vimarsha is a technical term. Vimarsha means expansion. The whole creation is an expansion, vimarsha of the vibration in Shiva. There was a spanda, they call it spanda, the spanda which happened in Shiva, because of which the vimarsha, this whole creation came into existence. So expansion is a vimarsha. But here, vimarsha does not have that meaning. We'll come to that. So he says, atra nanadehiti nanadehe nyanta bhavita nanade iti antarbhavita nyartho nada dhatu. With nada dhatu, as I said, nada to make sound, nada dhatu, he has brought in ni anta again, like earlier places. So that nyanta root word is nanada. Nyanta makes it double, so nanada. So nanada dhakkam nadaya masityata. The idea is dhakkam nadaya masa. He played the sound. Instead of nadaya masa, why did he say nanada? So he says navapanchavaram chaturdasham krutva. 9 and 5 is not 9 into 5, it is 9 plus 5. Okay, so 14 times. Yedad Shiva dakkothitam varnajalam Shiva sutra jalataya vimarshe janami tyartha. So this dakkothitam, this sound which is produced by the drums, varnajalam, these sounds of characters, Shiva Sutra Jalataya, as the web of Shiva Sutra, Vimarshe. Vimarshe means I know, Janami. Vimarshe is not in the meaning of expansion here. Vimarsha is in the meaning of knowing. Okay? Knowing. Okay. Evam cha Maheshwarena Prokta Arshastang. Vimarshe. Vimarsha is the word which should not be vimarsha something. Vimarshati, something like that. Vimarshati, vimarshani, etc. But instead of that, he says vimarshe. Instead of vimarshati or something, he says vimarshe. Why vimarshe? Arshastang. Arshaha means chandasa prayoga, rishi prayoga. You cannot, there is a rule. Rishinam niyoktam paryanoktam va ashakyatvat. Rishis cannot be controlled or deviated. They cannot be controlled or prevented or stopped from doing anything. They have their swatantra ichhasya mune. They have independence. So these munis, these rishis cannot be controlled. Now here, that is exactly why he says he is using the tongue. Tongue means Tongue in Hindi means to trouble, but tongue here is Tanganavatmane Padam. Tongue is the Atmane Pada Prayoga. Ting is a Paraspi Pada. Tongue is Atmane Pada. So he is using Atmane Pada Prayoga instead of Paraspi Pada Prayoga, which should be the proper word for Vimarsha. Okay? Now, एवं च माहेश्वरेण प्रोक्तानि माहेश्वराणि इति निरस्तम्. See, some people even during that period they have been saying probably Maheshwarat proktam iti Maheshwaram. That which is said by Maheshwara. Maheshwara didn't say anything. Maheshwara just created this sound and this fellow understood through that sound something else. So, yad bhavam tad bhavati, that is the idea here. Whatever you are meditating, that is what you get. So, the idea that he said, Shiva didn't say this. So, that idea is negated. Maheshwaramti. Etena Maheshwaratvad etesham sutranam na apramanatvam iti uktam bhavati. With this, since this has come from Maheshwara, and this is the base for Nanadadakam Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam, based on which all the Vyakarana is said, and Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam, that based on all these Vyakarana is based on these 14 sutras. Without these 14 sutras, there can be no grammar. Therefore, this is right to start the text with these 14 sutras. That is established. So, these 14 sutras are not useless sutras, apramana, invalid sutras. No, fine. Even still, anarthaka varna rashyatmakanam esham sutranam Vaiyakarana Siddhanta Prakashane Upayoga Bhavad Iha Tadupanyaso Vyartha Ityatah. Fine. But still, what is the use of presenting these sutras here? They are not useful in any way to throw light upon the grammar, Sanskrit grammar. Nanu evampi, still, anarthaka varna rashyatmakanam etesham. These are group of useless words. There's meaningless words, anarthaka, meaningless words. So meaningless characters, you are grouped that, and there is no order also. What is a-i-un? When you start Sanskrit, when you start grammar for any language, you start with the alphabets. A-I-I. But here a-i-un, there is no a-i, there is no dirgha. And it is all jumbled. I-ong, A-ong, I-ouch, not A-I-O-ow. It's all jumbled also. And it grows more crazier after the vowels. Haya varat. It's not kakagaga. It's haya varat. There is no rule here. So, why should we study this useless sutras? For that he says, iti Vaiyakarana, because it is not Vaiyakarana Siddhanta Prakashane throw some light upon the Vyakarana Siddhanta, to throw some light upon the Sanskrit grammar, Upayoga Bhavat, these are useless. Iha tad upanyasaha vyarthaha. Therefore, presenting it here is useless. Discussing about that is useless here. Iti ata aha. For this, the answer is anadi sanyarthani. They are for the name of, for creating the names of an, etc. Anadihi yasamta anadaya. What is anadi sanyarthani? That's one word, compound word. What does that mean? Anadihi yasamtaha anadihi. So that which has an in the beginning is anadi, not anadi. Anadi in Vedanta is beginningless. Anadi, eternal, beginningless. Here anadi, okay. So anadi. So the names an, etc. An, etc. Which is the beginning for which group? That anadayah. Anadayascha taha sanyascha. Anadi and their names. Anadi and their names is anadi sanya. Okay. Taha artha prayojanam yesham. And that anadi sanya, the names of an, etc., which is the meaning. Artha means meaning. Prayojanam, it should be interpreted in the name of use. So that which is used for creating these names of an etc., that is anadi sanyarthani. Did you get it? Anadi sanyarthani means an adi, which has the an in the beginning, and which is for the sake of creating the names, and which is used for some which is useful for something else in the later section. Okay, so anadi sanyarthani. Anarthaka varna rashitve api, though as you said these are useless words, right? Accept it. Still yesham sutranam vyakarana shastra gata vyavahara upayogi anadi sanyasu upayogat na anarthakam iti bhava. So though these jumbled characters are useless characters, still the thing is vyakarana shastra gata, in the vyakarana shastra vyavahara, the transaction which takes place, for that this is useful. These sanyas, these names are useful. Therefore an etc. sanyas are useful. Therefore though the characters are useless, this group is useful. Therefore we are using that anadi sanyate. Katham yesham sutranam anadi sanyarthatvam ityatah. How can these sutras gain the name an etc.? I'll explain. Eshamantya itah iti. The end character is it. It's given the name it. Yesham udahrita sutranam antyaha. These sutras which are given as the exemplified sutras, their antyaha. Antyaha means ante bhavaha. That which is in the end, that is antya. Okay, so antyaha nakaradi varnaha. Which are you referring to? A I un, the end, ril rik, the ik, a ong, ing, I ouch, ich. So all these final characters, they are it sanyakaha. They are given the name it. Pratyetavya. This is what we have to understand. Fine, very good. Lan sutra akara cheti. In the Lan sutra akara, you said something else. What does that mean? Iyam ita iti anushajyate. Ita iti anushajyate. We have to carry forward. Anushajjana means anuvritti. We have to carry forward from the previous statement it. There it said yesham antyaha itaha. Okay, that itaha should be carried forward to the next line. Lan sutre akarascha. There, because of the cha, you have to carry forward some word from the previous statement. We carry forward the itaha. Okay, itaha. Now, with reference to that itaha, he says tacha ekavachanantataya viprannanyate. See, itaha is bahuvachana, plural. Yesham antyaha. For these, the end character is so there are so many 14 sutras. So bahuvachana. So we say itaha. Now here it is only one sutra, lan. So only one sutra. So in that the akara should be given the name it. So itaha should be transferred to singular. Itaha is plural. It should be transferred to singular, which is it. It, ito, itaha. Okay. So that is how we understand. So that is why he says lan sutre lakara paraha akarascha it sanyakaha pratyetavi ityartha. In the Lan sutra, the it is a nasalized okay, the not just the n is nasalized. The of lakara is also nasalized. Run. Okay, normally we don't discuss all these things. We'll say lan over. So lan it is. Okay, so the akara is also nasalized and nakara is also nasalized. So lan. So the la, the akara is it sanyakaha. That should what we understand. Anantyatvat prathak pratigna. See, why did this declare? He said the final characters get the name it. Why is he saying again individually? Because this is not the final character. Antye bhavaha antyaha. In the earlier, it is only the antyaha, the final characters. Here, the is not the final character. Anantya, not Ananta. It is Anantya. Antya na iti Anantya. Nan samasa. Okay. So, Anantyatva, since it is not the end character, it is set separately. No. Fine. I understand that. Okay. Lan sutre eva akarasi itsanyakatve hayavara ityadau punah punah akara ucharanasya kim prayojanam ityatah. See, okay, in lan you have added the for the sake of it, not ucharana. Then why are you adding hayavara in all these places? It is hakara. Hakara is a consonant. Why do you add akara vowel to all these? Even while we study any language, especially Indian languages, we read first ka, kha, ga, gha, etc. Ka, nya, cha, nya, etc. But later we are taught ik plus a is kha. Ik plus a is ka. Kaka, kiki, kuku, etc. we learn. Now he says, fine, what you said is right, but why are you adding these akaras there in the hayavara? Why? What is your problem? See, this is the first thumb rule of the grammarians. What is the thumb rule of grammarians? Ardhamatra laghavena putrotsavam manyante vayyakaranaha. The grammarians, vayyakaranaha, the grammarians, ardhamatra laghavena, by trying to cut short one half character, by trying to cut short half character, putrotsavam manyante, he enjoys it like he has gained a son, he has begotten a son, baby boy. That is how he will enjoy. That is the excitement he will have. Even half character. Now ha, one full character, yeah, one full character. So how many full characters you are using? For that he says, don't worry, hakaradishu akaraha ucharanartha. That is the answer. That is the use. What is the use for adding a, etc. in ha? For ucharana. Hakaradinam sukha ucharanartham punaha punaha akara patha ityartha. We are using this akara for the sake of ucharana. Otherwise, what will happen? Anyatha shivur ityevam klishta ucharana pattehe ityartha iti bhava. Otherwise, it will be like the Middle Eastern languages. We are not throwing bad light on those languages, but they are all produced from the throat. Okay, so major they use the words from throat. Now, though the sounds are produced from the throat, it is not fully guttural for us. No, we don't use those kind of words. So he says, the only sound comes. It will be very difficult to pronounce these words without a. That is why we add a. Otherwise, there is another explanation. Acham vina halam ucharana abhavat punaha akara pataha hakaradi ucharanartha iti evam vyakyam. See, without ach, without a vowel, a consonant cannot be pronounced. That is why it is said again and again. The is said again and again. I don't understand. Why is it so? Why can I not pronounce a consonant without a vowel? Huh? I am pronouncing. In South Indian names, it ends with a common consonant, and we write a consonant, not like North Indians. North Indians don't write the consonant as consonant. Rama, they will write Rama, not Ram. Ram is a name, then they will not write Ram, they will say write Rama. And when they write Rama, they will not read it as Rama, they will read it as Ram. Both problems. Here, when I say Kumar, we write as Kumar and not Kumara. But if there is a word called Kumara there, they will read it as Kumar. Om Namah Shivaya. These are all complications. So he says, don't worry, I have an answer here. Ata eva uccairudat iti sutre bhashyam. That is exactly why it is said in the bhashya of the sutra uccairudatah. That's a triplet sutra. Uccairudatah, nichair anudatah, samaharaswaritah. You remember, right? So that sutra in the bhashya, there it is said antarena acham vyanjanasya uchcharam na bhavati. Without the ach, the vowels, vyanjana, antarena acham. Vyanjana means the consonants. The consonant, vyanjana, when you are sitting on the food table and you ask for vyanjana, it is the side dish, the vegetables. But here, vyanjana means consonants. Without the ach, the consonants cannot be pronounced. Iti uchcharan na bhavati. This is bhashya. Why bhashya also saying something so stupid? We'll come to that. He says, Atracha idam eva akarasya punaha punaha uchcharanam jnapakam. This is why he has said akara in each and every character of the consonant. Evam cha varnat kara iti kara pratyaya sati kakara ityadi. But then, why are you saying akara, ikara, ukara, etc.? Where did this kara come from? Kara in South Indian languages mean spicy. Why are you adding spice to this? Because varnat karaha, there is a vartika. Varnat karaha, with a varna, with a character, you have to add kara to show that you are referring to only that particular character. When you want to say akara, you are referring only to a. Ikara, akara, ikara, kakara, ik. Instead of saying ik, you say kakara. That means only ik. So that is the rule. Vak iti ityadi avasaneshu vriksha ityadau sanyukta varneshu cha padante choho kohu ityadi vidhivadat halonantara sanyoga ityadi shastra balacha nayam niyah ityadi. But wait, there are words, as I said, which have the end in consonants. He is giving the example vak. Why go to vak? The first word in Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi or Adi Laghu, the consonant ending word, vowel, we saw, or a noun. In the nominal case, we saw lich, hodah, etc. Sutras we saw lich. Then lich became lick, etc. Lid. So lick means to lick. That is the word. So there we were pronouncing lich, we are finding the word lick, and here also we said the word it ends with a consonant. So we are using it here also. So for that he says iti, adi, vak, etc. In these words, and vriksha means ik sha. There is a ik in between. Nishtha. There is a nishtha pratyaya. There, tatavatu. It is not tatavatu. It is tavatu. You should have to pronounce the ik, kakara. You have to pronounce it. Otherwise, it will be like Pali or Bengali. Dhamma kete kurukete. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Instead of dharma kshetre kurukshetre, the refa gets dropped. Dhamma ketre. The Sanyukta Akshara gets dropped actually. Dhamma kete kurukete. There was this example I gave in the Tamil class also. See, there was one Vidwan in quotes writing commentary on your Bhagavan Bhashyakara's Prashnottara Malika. There, the question is, Ko Badiraha, Ko Mukaha, Ko Andaha, who is a blind? Ko Badiraha, who is a deaf? Ko Mukaha. So, in that order, it should be Ko Mukaha means who is the dumb one, who cannot speak. Now, instead of understanding it as Ko Mukaha, this person probably translated it from a Bengali text. So, he translated as Ko Murkaha, who is an idiot. Who is? We know. We don't have to answer. Ko mukha. Okay, so mukha, in the murkha, the refa will be dropped in this sanyoga. Mukha. So like that, we should not drop the k. So we have to say vriksha. Okay, so in these places, there is pronunciation of the consonant without vowel. How do you do that? For that he says, iti padante choho kuhu ityadi vidhibalat. In the padanta choho kuhu. Padanta chakarasya chavargasya kavargaha syat. That is the sutra. So padanta chavarga will become kavarga. Choho kuhu. That is the sutra. So in the padanta there can be a consonant. The sutra establishes. And in between vriksha there halonantaraha sanyoga. What is sanyoga? Two hal coming together in close proximity is sanyoga. We saw the sutra. We are going to see the sutra also. So ityadi shastra balacha. These, based on the strength of these shastras, we are using these words. Iti nayam niyama iti alam. So there is this rule which was said in the Bhashya is not applied here. Therefore, this is enough. This explanation is good enough explanation. We'll see this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.